My name is Usman. I've studied here at the University of Sheffield, Department of Mechanical Engineering. I did a BEng over here. I've gone off to do work with British Steel for the past 1 year. I'm on a 2-year graduate scheme, and I'm an international from Pakistan. British Steel annually produces about 2.8 million tons of steel. We're probably one of the largest steel manufacturers in the UK at the minute. It's a constantly changing environment right now, especially since we've been taken over and rebranded as British Steel from Tata Steel. And I think it's the prime time to be able to join an organization because we're undergoing massive amounts of structural changes. So I'm currently working as a graduate mechanical engineer. We sort of go on different rotations every 6 months. So we have 2 years and we have 4 different 6-month rotations. So the idea is to sort of have an overview of the entire operation and supply chain that goes behind making steel. So my first rotation was in continuous casting, where we produce and manufacture manufacture blooms from molten steel. And my second placement was in ore preparation plant, where you manufacture sinter from raw materials, which is then used to charge up blast furnaces to make iron. My next placement is with the Scunthorpe Rail and Section Mills, where we produce railway tracks for use across the UK. One of our biggest clients is Network Rail, and we work extensively on different projects, including the Crossrail and the HS2. So our typical working timings are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you typically expect to be going in the morning, and there's a daily trio meeting where the electrical team, the mechanical team, and the production team have a daily update meeting for the past 24 hours where we go over key things such as safety issues, environmental issues, and any operational delays that we've had in the past 24 hours and how we can sort of rectify them and move along with the day. So typically you would expect to attend that and pick up on maintenance breakdowns that have happened and sort of help team leaders go around plant and fix things. So that's sort of the day-to-day running, but you also got maintenance projects that you're working on. So these are typically continuous improvement projects for better upkeep of the plant and making some improvements around different processes, ensuring that our operations are vital and sustainable, we're not having any delays. No day is the same really, and every day you can expect to come into work and expect a new thing to happen. And I think that's what keeps you going. And also the fact that you're liaising with senior managers at any given time. I think that's where you actually pick up on your communication skills and your team building skills. And I think for me as a graduate, I think it's a perfect opportunity to be able to showcase my skills that I've learned from university and try and apply them in a real world environment. In terms of challenging aspects, I would say it's probably when things break down, you're expected to sort of be there and repair them, even if it goes over and beyond your working hours. So there typically be days where you'd expect to finish at 4, you'd come in on a perfectly normal day, but then something would go wrong during the course of the day, which would lead to you sort of directing all your attention towards and helping the team leaders and the mechanical team to be able to get the plant up and running, just so we've not got any delays. This year we had a 3-week shutdown on the sinter plant where I was working. So every day I was working 6 to 6 in the morning, waking up really early, going back really late. And working 12-hour shifts every day for 3 weeks was a really challenging aspect. But it all worked out really well in the end because I received a reward and recognition from my plant manager about my commitment and enthusiasm for going over and beyond my responsibilities and roles. So I think it's things like these which brighten up your day and really keep you going and motivated in whatever you're doing. So I think in terms of the skills required, I think working along in a team environment is a very essential role. You'll be liaising with different teams, which include the technical team, the production team, and the electrical team. So for myself as a mechanical engineering graduate, you have to sort of be able to communicate with different teams and be approachable because you will definitely have to work with them at some given time. I think in terms of being able to communicate very well is an essential key because you're working with contractors on a day-to-day basis for contracting out jobs, and especially in my current placement, I've had loads of different contractors doing loads of different stuff. And you really need to be able to manage teams really effectively because you maybe have 2 or 3 contractors working with you at any given time. So over the summers on my graduation, I graduated in July and then I started working in September. So I just went on a road trip over the entire UK. So I think that was really good breather before I actually started working. So I graduated in July and I started working straight in September. So I think it was a good sort of break in between, and then sort of diving straight into work was really helpful because you were still fresh out of university and were ready to sort of like built up, and you had the energy going. I think the best way to actually be able to apply for all these jobs is to go to career service. I think I really made extensive use of the facilities that the university has to offer over here. So career service is really big help, and I constantly went to get my CVs checked and my applications reviewed. And especially before interviews in assessment centres, I would go and sort of seek advice from the careers advisors, and they're a really big help. And in terms of applications, I'd say just keep persistent. I know there'll be loads of times that you get rejected, but please don't be sort of like disheartened on them, because I've been in the same position. But just keep trying. You never know how close you are.